We'll begin today reviewing the Siddur from the very beginning until the very end. Most Siddurim are organized in a similar manner, so that reviewing the Siddur from beginning to the end is like reviewing every Siddur in the world. First we'll talk about the whole part of the Siddur, the daily parts of the prayer and the elements of the Siddur. The first part of the Siddur is called Birchot HaShachar, the brachot that we make in the morning. The Siddur begins actually with a non-bracha, which is printed right at the beginning and refers back to what's written in the Ramah, Siman Aleph, the first paragraph of the Shulchan Aruch, Siman Aleph at the end of Aleph. And the Shulchan Aruch says, the Ramah says in the Shulchan Aruch, he says that even a person who is by himself, who is alone, who is sleeping in his own bed, has to always remember before whom he is lying. In other words, the ambience of the life that we want to live, the way we want to be, is to recognize the fact that we stand before God at all times and not just when we daven. And this idea that we stand before God begins every morning when we wake up. And so the Ramah says, Miyad sheyeh or mishnato, immediately, when he wakes up from his sleep, he should get up quickly, enthusiastically, la'avodat bar'o yitbarach v'ya'aleh, in order to serve his Creator. That's what you're doing. That's what we're getting up to do. It's true, we may have a schedule, we may have a long list of things that we have to take care of on this day. But the first thing the Ramah says that we think about is that we are servants of God. And that's the way our day is determined. The Mishnah Berurah says, that immediately upon rising, he should say, Modeh Ani Lefanecha Melech Chai V'Kayam. I'm thanking God. I am thankful before you, God. Melech Chai V'Kayam, the living King. Shechazarta bi nishmati b'chemla rabbah, that you gave me back my soul with great mercy. This is the way I believe. So that these words, Modeh Ani Lefanecha, are the first words that everybody speaks when he or she gets up in the morning. Before we wash, before we take care of our other needs, we look around, awestruck by the fact that we're alive again. And we recognize the fact that life is totally in the hands of the Ribono Shel Olam. He said, and the Mishnah Berurah says, Ein sarich lazeh nitilat yadayim. This is a statement that does not contain the name of God, and therefore you don't have to wash your hands. And even if in some way your hands are dirty, you still don't have to wash your hands. You don't mention God's name. You don't mention a name associated with God. However, the Mishnah Berurah adds on that it would seem that one should not learn any Torah before he washes his hands. And certainly not before he says Birkat HaTorah. Of course, he's referring to the fact that if you got up enthusiastically at 3 in the morning, you washed, you said Birkat Torah, then you learned a little, and then you went back to sleep, and you get up in the morning, so you don't have to say Birkat Torah over again. But even in that case, you don't have to wash again for Modeh Ani Lefanecha. In other words, there's an urgency to it. You've got to say Modeh Ani Lefanecha right away, because that way you declare exactly who you are and what it is you're doing in this world.